I don't worry.
You got his number?
Yes, yep, yep.
I still got it.
My phone's really tired of me searching for the damn out of it.
Is this part C?
Hmm?
We
Yeah.
had A, B, and this is
I
C.
think we're on Z.
Z?
Z. Are we live? Penny?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
I'm gonna say we are.
All right. Call to order the Vermillion County Council meeting for September 17th. Please stand for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Costello.
Here.
Mr. Somerville.
Here.
Ms. Brown. Here. Mrs. James is present. Mrs. Furry. Here. Mr. Bose.
Here.
Mr. Weir.
Here.
All right. First item on our agenda this evening is the approval of minutes from our August 11th, 2025 meeting. Are there any additions, corrections, or comments regarding those minutes? Anything for the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
I second the motion.
I have a motion for Mr. Somerville, a second for Mrs. Furry to approve the meeting minutes from August 11th, 2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed state no. Minutes are approved. Up next on our agenda this evening is additional appropriations. I'm gonna kind of pull those out of order real quick. The first one was the convention tourism for the covered bridge. The commissioners are gonna pay that out of the bridge fund, so that one can be marked off your list. That was the easy one. The next one would be public safety. They are asking for an additional $8,700 in professional services to pay for the relocating the inmates while the air conditioning was out this summer. Something we had to do.
I'll make a motion for the professional services addition of $8,700 into public safety.
I'll second that.
And those are funds that we have to pay other jails for all our inmates, so those all go to local other jails. All right, any further discussion? I have a motion for Mrs. Furry, a second for Mr. Costello, to approve the $8,700 additional for professional services and public safety. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed state no. Additional is approved. The next additional appropriation has been advertised twice. It gives us the ability to either pay it out of the county general fund or out of county public safety. It is a total amount of $392,888.40. This is to complete and update the entire CAD systems. This is what our 911 system operates. Jimmy's here if you have questions. We've been having a lot of problems, correct, Jimmy? We're past due. Yeah, if you would like, just so everyone understands why.
So yeah, I'll make it as short and sweet as possible. Jimmy Miller, Wayne County 911 Director. The system's 20 years old. I don't know of anybody using a computer today that's 20 years old. It's long outlived its life expectancy, and we've also outgrown the current system that we have. There's no doubts that this system is expensive. However, I mean, I did a lot of searching, and this is the best fit for our agency as well as many other agencies in the state of Indiana, to where we'll actually be able to communicate with all these other agencies, including the Indiana State Police and all the surrounding counties that are the park. Again, I'm available for more questions if you have them.
Can you expect this to last 20 years also?
Well, the good news is that every 2 years, this system, the server is actually replaced by the company. Every month we receive micro updates, and every year we receive a large update. With our current system, we've received no updates to our server for quite some time. Don't know exactly when, but also the last time we received a software update from them was 2018.
How come we can't communicate with Park?
Because technically they're on the current system that we are on now.
Okay, so once they update,
Radio wise, we can still do all that in 911 and everything like that, but on the CAD system.
if they update theirs, then we will be able to.
Yep, if they go with the same company, yeah.
These systems aren't, I mean, I'm trying to go off memory here, but
Sure.
These systems are interlinked with other county systems because
Correct.
of like rollovers. If one system goes down,
Yes.
we're a backup.
Yep.
If we go down there.
Yep.
Okay, so that's another important.
Yep. So
I guess our current system's not really working on that.
no, a lot of portions of our system currently aren't working to the point to where the server's actually forgotten that they exist. So, and the server's trying to force shut down daily, and I have to go in and tell it not to. So, all the way from Knox County, Vigo County, Sullivan Clay, Fountain Warren. Can't remember the one just north of Warren County off the top of my head, but basically Benton County, basically this entire portion of the state would be covered under Caliber system. So if they deal with somebody in another county, 2 years ago, and we connect to Caliber tomorrow, we'll be able to see that. And also it operates also on the systems of, say we lose internet at the sheriff's office, dispatch will still be able to operate and be able to do everything on the computer. And then once it connects to the internet again, it'll catch up to itself and download everything to the RMS system, which it currently doesn't do. If we lose internet, we go back to pen and paper.
How soon can we get it replaced?
When I've been talking to Caliber, because they do service many other counties, they're still looking at approximately a 4 to 6 month boot up time. So it's not something they just come plug in and say, here you guys go. So it's designed per county. So it'll be 4 to 6 months roughly before we're operational, as long as we don't run into issues.
So do we need to budget any kind of yearly fees for anything?
Yeah, so at the very bottom of the quote that was emailed, if you look at it, it says additional notes, year 2 maintenance and support. That is $77,326. So something we also need to keep in mind too is that with Cushing, because we may roll into next year, we may have to pay Cushing also for the next year. But the total cost every year for the next foreseeable future, as long as we stay with Caliber, which I don't know why we wouldn't if it does get approved, would be $77,326. So the yearly cost will go up.
So since we've been talking about budgets for the last few days, is that something we need to incorporate, or is that something that we already have a fund that can pick, like a budget line item to pay that?
I know the sheriff has a line item that he already pays out of, and then I pay a portion of that also,
Okay.
because 911 can only pay for a certain percentage of it. So,
Okay.
so I'm going to imagine they're going to need to be increased.
Okay.
What's the bill from Cushing? You're saying that at the first of the year, we could receive the cost for the next year for them, which is all up front?
The way the billing works with Cushing, and this is how I've perceived it, is basically we pay like a year behind, is basically how it works. So it comes January.
Oh, so our bill will be due?
Correct.
Okay, it's not for a future service.
Correct. It's January of every year we pay it, is what we end up doing.
What's that usually?
What was mine's roughly 18,000, I believe yours is. Yeah, I'd have to look. I usually pay about 18,000 of it, and he pays roughly 30 out of his line item.
Okay, so the question is, do we pay it out of general or public safety? Public safety can only be used for limited, public safety can only be used for limited, things, and this falls into it. So, it is a local income tax funded account, or fund.
What's the balance in public safety we have?
I got rid of that book.
Yeah, that book's over there.
Hold on. We also have possibly some, keep in mind that I think we also have the ambulance costs for this year
Yes.
still to pay, so.
Let's see, public safety is 2.5 million.
And say we take it out public safety.
Yeah.
Agree.
Well, and since local income tax is changing in the year 2028, I imagine the state will require us to still spend these funds that we do have on public safety in the future. They will no longer be rolling into public safety individually with the new local income tax structure that the state has just passed. So
Might as well use it.
if we're gonna have to use it. So,
911's pretty public safety.
Yeah, it's
Can't
pretty
get much-
important.
It's where it starts.
okay, so is there a motion to use the public safety for this?
I make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Right. I have a motion from Mr. Weir, second from Mrs. Brown, to approve an additional $392,888.40 from the Public Safety Fund for the 911 system. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. Motion is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Get
you.
that ordered? Can you get that ordered soon, or?
Sorry?
Are you gonna order that right away then? and get
Yeah,
that-
I'm gonna go ahead and sign the document tonight and get it emailed tomorrow, just so
Great.
that we can go ahead and get everything rolling with it. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Okay. All right, our last additional appropriation this evening is from Economic Development and the Commissioners in the RISE. The additional appropriation is for $100,000 for the Economic Development Service Agency Agreement. It is in partnership with the RISE, and they are asking for it to come out of the Fund 1149 Economic Development. And I don't have a copy of the agreement, but we do have John Myers here to speak on it, if anyone has questions. Or RJ, I guess whoever,
We got Raj too.
okay, whoever wants to,
Yeah, I think everybody will probably speak a little bit on it. You guys should have a copy of the agreement that was emailed to you guys
is it in the back?
a month
Okay,
ago, maybe. I don't know.
We got it.
Is
I
it-
thought I saw it and then I wasn't, okay. Yes, it's in the back of the packet, or I moved mine, one of the two. So there you go.
Yeah, oh, no, I don't need, no. I'll speak on behalf of the commissioners
It's
first.
in the, like each John's in.
Okay. Go ahead.
There you go.
I'll find it.
You sure? All right. So, as you know, earlier this year, economic development, we haven't had any for several months. The commissioners were tasked, coming up with an agreement or some sort of new structure for the county. The commissioners, in working with BCS Management, John Myers, John drafted this agreement, and then working with the RISE, we believe this is a very good cohesive agreement for the county. You have one director, one assistant, administrative assistant for the entire county. I know Joe can attest to this, and probably even John. If you've ever used economic development for the state of Indiana, there's a thing called Zoom Prospector. You're constantly getting emails saying, hey, would you like this business to come to your county? Would you like to do this? Well, we have no point contact person right now. So right now, RISE board members for free are, attempting to coordinate all that work. And it is a possibility that we are losing out on business in the county. We have a lot of small businesses here that want help with economic development. We have nobody. The commissioners are in unanimous agreement. I think the auditor's office probably has a signed copy where we signed it. The RISE, I believe, signed it today as well. They're supposed to sign it a little while ago, but I think they got it signed today. So that's from the commissioner's side. I'll answer any questions. If not, I'll turn over to John or Joe to kind of give their 2 cents about the agreement.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say a few words. I met most of you or talked to you on the phone at some point or another. I'm John Myers, retired attorney, used to work for the IEDC, also ran the Economic Development Corporation for Whitley County for 5 years. It's kind of a fun thing to do in the community kind of thing. So we've been hired to help do what we can to organize economic development in the county, help get things set up. I had previously put together a memo, like, here's what economic development might look like. I don't know. I think I gave Ashley a copy. I don't know how many saw that originally, but the big issue right now is just having boots on the ground, somebody to answer the phone calls, somebody to take people out and drive them around, show them the different sites that are available. RJ had reached out and said, have you ever seen this where the county's just contracted with somebody to do this? And he knew that the RISE was looking for someone to manage the overall RISE, and talked about them also then maybe hiring an economic development person that could do not only the marketing for the RISE, but the whole county. So Clinton City, Perrysville, all the way, and everything in between. As I again, I've told Ashley before, I'm not here to do this and be your economic development director or whatever. But my goal would be to help that person get set up, get their processes in place, get the any additional website stuff set up, and of course get reconnected with the IEDC and others, and then at some point slowly fade away into the background. And if you have questions for me in the future, great. But if not, I just you have so many good things going on here, and I've seen that even in the discussions this afternoon on the budget, and I'd just like to see you guys succeed at the economic development. I want you guys to have the best economic development operation in the state, so I can brag on you as when they put me in the nursing home. So,
is this for one person or two?
What's that?
Is this for an assistant also, or just for the director?
Yeah, it's for a director and an administrative assistant, and the RISE can talk a little bit more about this. But the RISE is hired or is in the process of hiring someone to manage the day-to-day operations of the RISE, and the economic development, this person would specifically do economic development for the entire county. And another thing you gotta remember too, cost savings to the taxpayers. The economic fund in the past paid a director, an administrative assistant, insurance benefits and everything. So you're looking at, 80 plus 45,000, and all we're asking for is 100 with no benefits. 100 to the RISE paid, John had mentioned, at the tax distribution twice a year, and then we would have one collective unit of economic development for the entire county.
What is the RISE's portion?
And the office space, I take it back, the county would, furnish the office space at the old EDC thing. What's
How
that?
much is the RISE's portion?
Of this? I think that depends on, the director and the administrative assistant they hire. I think a director, it depends who they get in that role, I think, the county, they were paying Bob Brewery
100,000? It's well over.
well over 100,000. So I think it just depends, who they get. But I think their idea was, with benefits and all, they're looking at maybe a $200,000 package or 175, and 100 for us. That gives them that liberty to hire within that 200 range.
Yeah, and I think if you have that person in place, there's an opportunity to go pick up economic development funds from like Duke and other entities in the county that want to support economic development. So, but again, you have to have somebody that's going out and making those sales calls and making the ask for the money or to support particular projects.
The agreement states at least 2 days per week in the office. Does that mean they're only in the office 2 days? Are they working 2 days? How does that?
I think the commissioners, when John drafted this agreement for us, that's a negotiable number. It can be 5 days a week. The Rise just has no office space. That building 7700 needs fixed.
I didn't know if that was just to guarantee office hours, so if someone did walk in, they were guaranteed to be there like Monday, Tuesday, or something, or if they were working somewhere else part of the week, or.
Yeah, I think the agreement was more or less, to say, this is, the county's willing to work together, and whoever that person is, let them kind of develop.
So it's still a full-time position.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just from the Rise's perspective, so previously we had an executive director that did both economic development and day-to-day oversight of the Rise. And it's a skill set in one person that you don't find anywhere. So we struggled to replace that as a single position. So our goal was to break that apart, have 2 people, one that does just economic development and one that does day-to-day oversight of the Rise. And that's our direction at the moment. At the same time, and some of you may remember the entity, the power company here about 5 years ago that kind of ended up playing the county and the Rise against each other for site. And it didn't work out well, and they ended up leaving, not locating here. So I think our goal is to not, if we have one person that speaks for the county and the Rise together for economic development, we won't get in those positions where companies want to pit the county and the Rise against each other. Obviously, there will be times where a combined economic development position will be put in the spot where's the best location for a company. And I think we've talked about the Rise. It is literally what the company, of course, gets first choice where they want to be. But it's the goal is to get jobs and companies landed in the county somewhere. We don't care if it's in the Rise or the county.
Who's the day-to-day person going to be?
Excuse
The
me?
day-to-day person you're talking about, is that part of this package?
No, that is solely a Rise employee.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's why we're wanting to split it apart. So we would, the day-to-day operations of the Rise have nothing to do with economic development. This is our goal, right? In the past, when we had an employee do both, yes. But now we can do one person that manages day-to-day employees, the oversight of mowing grass and the tenants and all that stuff. Right, they would oversee that. The economic development person that we would share, that would work in the office in Cayuga, would be just economic development work for the county.
Yeah,
And of course, there would be a secretarial position there, which there previously was for the county. So the payment was just kind of agreed upon. This is what the county is paying towards those 2 positions. Okay, we still have to find those employees. I would tell you that we fully expect that will not be half of the investment for those when you get to all the benefits and everything else. That the Rise will probably invest more than that amount.
Who will that person answer to?
Technically the Rise board of 5 people.
So we're going to pay for
Because
them and somebody else is
as
gonna
it's
be
set up now, they will be a Rise employee.
So the Rise board will decide what happens with our 100,000. Yes.
To who's hired as an employee, correct, yes.
Kelly, on that, the commissioners won't have any discussions on who's being hired on that. We are leaving that discreetly up to the Rise board. But we fully anticipate a good cooperating relationship. Like if there's a concern that this director is going to focus all their energy on the Rise only, that's not the goal here. And the Rise is well aware of that this is a county position that will be utilized for economic development throughout the county.
Well, if we're going to spend $100,000, where's our vote at?
Well,
The council.
we're trying to share.
That's your vote, essentially. You're sticking $100,000 into this project, and you can pull that vote once a year.
So in our previous documents we've had our economic development director work closely with redevelopment, like attend their meetings and help them out with things. And I know we talked about that before. I don't see it actually written in the agreement that this director would then help with redevelopment. Is that something we could more specifically spell out so there's not confusion later to?
It was my understanding the contract's kind of, it's a simple 2-page contract and kind of open-ended. The expectation is that those relationships that redevelopment and economic development had in the past would continue.
Because
But I think, to your point, I think it just says for the county now, but you could.
I just want to make sure it's like,
blah, blah,
that way
blah.
someone who gets hired is under the understanding that that is part of their job description and like that your redevelopment is included in those services, so they don't think it's something separate.
Well, I think our goal with it was it's for the county, so the redevelopment falls under the county, economic development falls under the county. You know, if somebody in the county government needed economic development services, you would contact the economic development director for the county, Vermilion County. You know, this isn't a RISE director or, you know, a county director, it's Vermilion County. So when you're going to these, you know, shows or talking to people in the past, it was Bob Drury wearing a RISE jacket and someone else wearing a county EDC jacket. Well, we don't want that. We want to be known as Vermilion County Economic Development. So the entire county, 37 miles long and 7 miles wide, is being covered by this position.
I mean, I understand that aspect of having one person. I just want to make sure that they know that those services are encompassed in like this agreement. Because right now, there's a lot going on at redevelopment, and that may take more time sometimes, whereas in 10 years, we may not have much time, but I didn't want to.
I think if you want, if you guys are hung up on, and I say hung up, if you want that wording put in the agreement, the commissioners are amenable to that, to add RDC to that agreement. But our thought process was the county encompassed anything in the county. And as long as the board, which they've indicated they understand that they would, in that job description, list what their job duties are.
Yeah, I was talking to Kelly a little bit about this the other day. I guess I would see this person also preparing a cost benefit analysis for each project, whether it's coming to the RDC or whether it's coming to the RISE or wherever. And so the county, the commissioners are looking, the council's looking at the tax abatement. You ought to be able to tell people at Walmart on Saturday morning that, yeah, we gave a 5-year tax abatement, but we'll have all that money back in the first 3 years, and then it's gravy revenue after that. So, so I think that's an important part of what this person needs to do to make sure that you guys are making the right decisions if you're putting money into a project and not just, I don't know, I used to complain about macrame shops in downtown Columbia City. That would, so make sure you're not getting macrame shops. I know if you love macrame, I'm sorry, but.
Semantics probably, but they would attend the RISE board meetings.
I think so.
And-
And council meetings, commissioner meetings.
Require, not, I mean, I just, as needed?
As needed.
Okay.
Depends on what, how often do you want to update?
I know that they used to have their own meetings is why.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how that.
Well, and I think also with John's expertise, he helped craft this document, thanks to him for doing that. But I think John will be leaned heavily on, maybe with the advertising process of this position, if it's, funded, and helping them make sure all these documents are laid out. And I think part of it is going to be a work in progress at first. If you want them attending every single meeting every month, I think they will. But I think, if they get busy and you want quarterly updates or whatever, I think this is an agreement that it's a living document. We can amend things as we move forward. But I think we can all agree on there is no leader of economic development right now. And Ashley's probably getting phone calls. All commissioners get phone calls. I'm sure BCS management's getting phone calls. Ron Mack is, and Joe Ellis is spending time, Jeff Mahalik, every board member. So we just want to pool our resources together. And then, like I said, we were spending more than 100 in the past for economic development. So you're spending less, and we're
You could, and it speaks to Kelly's question, you could literally look at this as, you used to be paying for these two positions on a full-time basis. And I don't know what the total compensation package for those two employees were. It was definitely more than 100.
I think for everything, it was like 300,000, wasn't it?
Budget.
For
Total
budget.
Not just the employees.
Yeah.
Budget for the whole office and everything.
And another minuscule, I'm a penny pincher, Joe.
Yeah.
One of the things that was asked to me, and I asked about the water. I don't know if that's been mentioned to you.
Very
the jail?
recently, actually.
Okay.
So,
It's like, we gotta get that under control.
so let me just share with you the situation. The Rise has gone through some water rate hikes. The usage at the jail has spiked also at the same time.
I pulled the bills, it fluctuates.
It does fluctuate.
Last year when I was auditor, it raised 4 times in 1 year.
Yeah, we did a total of 6 rate hikes over a year and a half's time.
This year hasn't raised at all.
No, and we're done now. So your usage so far this year is up 44% compared to last year on just gallons of water. So we have that issue. Compound it with the rate increase, it adds up.
I understand
So
the
I would
consumption, but
I
I
would
was
tell
more about
you.
the rate.
So because the Rise doesn't currently have a lot of water tenants, the jail is our largest tenant, significantly larger than the others. And the Rise currently sells all our water to loss. So even though as the jail's water rates, total bill has gone up on a per 1,000 gallon basis, we are, I don't want to use the word subsidizing, but if you're, let me look here for a second. If their rate is, say they're paying $5,000 a month, roughly for a month, we are spending an additional $10,000 a month supplying that water. And unfortunately, that's what the Rise has been doing for a period of time, just because we don't sell enough water yet. We are certain we will have additional tenants by Q1 of 2027 in the Rise.
So basically, we're paying for all the maintenance and everything. Well, we're not, you are.
No, we're paying more than you. We're paying more than the jail and the county.
But I mean, there's no one else doling into the maintenance or anything.
I'm sorry?
There's no one else paying into it?
No,
Besides
there
the
are
Rise.
other tenants
Okay,
in the Rise.
okay.
Yes, so there are multiple tenants, but the jail is the largest one. And I don't, maybe the sheriff and us can look at it on a per, I don't know what the number of inmates are at any one time, but on a per person basis, they utilize a lot of water.
Yeah, I could tell when it was shut down and we just did the appropriation for the moving of the inmates. It went down that month.
And
I
that
get
just may be what they use. I don't know.
I was more concerned with 4 increases in 1 year. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
who's monitoring this? So.
No, we absolutely did, but we were losing. So essentially, you're in the single digits on a 1,000 gallon basis for the cost of water, and for a few years we were losing over $100 per 1,000 gallons. So we have tried to. Actually, we've made big increases for you, but it's still small for us. We're still losing a significant amount of water. We believe if we get a large water user at the Rise, that we can significantly lower. And by large, I mean the amount that we use in total for a year now would be less than a daily usage. So it'd be back to a situation where the water well would get utilized like they were built for back in the day. So yeah,
Thank you.
and I could dig more into it.
It's just, when you see your water rate go up 4 times in a year, usually you have a contract and it's set.
Yeah, so the Rise is a non-regulated utility.
Oh, okay.
So we have the ability to change our rates.
Okay.
If the sheriff wants to negotiate a different rate, we can sit down and talk about it.
That might just be me.
But we don't have to go to the IURC and ask for their approval on rate changes.
Thank you.
So I don't know if it's had anything to do with economic development, but yeah, that's the rough gist of it on the water situation.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I'm happy to answer anything or give you a Rise update or.
So our overall goal for the county is to attract business and employment and everything else that goes along with it. That's our goal.
The Rise would agree, and I know at the moment
Whether it's
the
within the boundaries of Rise or outside,
so
within
the taxation situation's unique,
right?
Because of where the Rise sits and what the TIF tax is there. I'm not speaking for the board now, but my personal not goal, but dream would be that the RISE is large enough and generates enough revenue that it can provide monies back to the county to lower property taxes or do something to maybe help increase the salary rates for teachers in this county or something, just something where the RISE can start producing dollar value that can come back into the county besides just the jobs we provide. Because generally now it's what the county sees is going to be the jobs, the taxation from those jobs. So
I know you guys said you guys are open to like the changes and things. Is that something we can, I know it's a simple agreement, but can we modify that to guarantee like those things are written in there? Just to, I mean, just so that way it's black and white. I know in the past, other documents we've had have been questionable, like the gray lines.
You guys, the opinion of the commissioners would be that you guys can amend this document tonight, add what words you want, and then the RISE and the commissioners will sign an updated copy.
I mean, I don't know if we can like sit here and add like the sentences that we need to without having to prove.
Well,
like,
like the commissioners, we do things, at our meetings, we'll approve a contract pending, somebody going through and rewriting the verbiage in it. We've been waiting, I know Scott, we've done that a lot. We would really encourage if the council would vote to approve this tonight pending, agreements made to the contract by the council. But what you mentioned tonight, I know will be amendable to the Board of Commissioners, and I'm sure it'll be amendable to the RISE. I think the agreement John drafted up, I'm not sure if there was even any changes made to it, was it?
no.
Yeah, so I mean, it's.
So if you want to make corrections, redline it tonight, we're happy to, we'll stick in front of our legal counsel and.
I'd like to review this. I think this is great start. But I think I'd like to see some of this in black and white first before we agree to anything.
Me too.
I just want to make one more comment. I'm not trying to change your minds or speed things up. So the economic development situation in this country, I think at the moment is totally changed since, from the last few years. There's more activity at the RISE and just in general, even at IDC than we've ever seen. And it's a lot of companies that want to come back here because of the tariff and you bring manufacturing back essentially.
Absolutely.
So the spec building, we've had a significant amount of lookers at it recently. The realtor has said if we had 4 buildings sitting there ready to go right now, we could fill them right now. But these are companies that don't want to wait to build, they want to go into a building now. So we have had a fight over the spec building, believe it or not, here at this point in the game. And 2 offers were made within the same week's time on the spec building. And no news to announce yet, but we believe it will sell in the near future. We're hopeful to land the one that didn't get the building elsewhere.
I would assume with this setup, if somebody comes in with interest in this county, they're probably gonna go show them the RISE first, right?
Not, just depends on what they want.
But if the RISE works for them.
So with IDC, he mentioned earlier Zoom Prospector, and so I'll get an email every time a new possible project comes through the state economic development. And depending on what you are, what you've got to offer, and you're part of the state, you may get the opportunity to apply for it, right? And so there was one here recently that I actually put in for, because we can pick any parcel that's available in the county. And so I picked the parcel that's available at I-74 and also one parcel inside the RISE for both the same project, because they might prefer to be located on the interstate. So with the state level, I think it's important to speak with one voice in that regard. And so those opportunities are there. And we talked about this at the RISE board meeting. How do we deal with that this person may have to choose or may have to help choose that this company's going to go up there, down there, or in the RISE or wherever, right? And ultimately, this person has to be loyal to the whole of the county and to land. The first priority is to land this entity here with the jobs. And so if that company prefers to be at the interstate, that's great. If they prefer to be at the RISE, that's fine also.
Yeah, and I think the economic development person's job is to say, here are the parameters you've given me. Here are the 3 parcels in the county that fit. This place is better because they have sewer. This place is better because it's along an interstate. you guys have to decide what's best for you and what you need. And so, I mean, at least in my case, I was never steering people, one place or another. It's like, what's best for the company? If they're gonna have more money left over so they can pay higher wages or build a bigger building, then we can collect more property tax or whatever the case may be.
And we see different types too that come to us, and some come through IDC, some come directly to us that have found us. There's multiple ways, word of mouth even on a few once in a while, that show up at the Rise. And a lot of times the entities that come to the Rise either want a big parcel of land or the utilities of the water, the access to the gas line, which is extremely important. But others that we've wanted to talk to would rather be closer to the interstate. And the big negative to the Rise is it literally is not close enough to either interstate. We like to tell everybody it's right in the middle between the two, but the companies ultimately say, we'd really like to be a little closer. So we deal with that, and it's great that we've got this spot up here on the north end now, and we've got the area down here on the north side of Clinton that we can literally start maybe more appropriately citing companies that want to come here. Get them in the best spot.
So Ashley, you'd mentioned some red line changes. Is it just the redevelopment work? I mean, because I know the commissioners had sent this agreement, I think, a month ago to the council and said if you had any questions or concerns, let the commissioners know.
I've never seen it, and I do want to make this public. My email is not dot, it's underscore.
That's be a problem.
I never get that. I
Well,
never.
I know, I used the underscore one for you though.
I don't remember seeing that.
Okay, but I mean,
Okay.
I was just saying, I know it was sent out, and I mean, the commissioners had asked for comments back, and we had received none. So again, we would ask that you guys, consider.
I
Well,
received
I
one, but
think-
it wasn't this one.
I mean, I know, I don't know if I talked to you about it. I know I talked to John about it.
Okay.
But, I just know that,
You guys do have a special meeting in 2 weeks, or slightly less than 2 weeks, if that could be.
Well, I was just trying to get it, if there was red line changes that were needed other than the RDC award, I didn't want to see a potential, if you guys
I have
have,
it, John. I have it.
if you had read the
I just
agreement and
didn't-
reviewed it over the last month, if that's the only holdup, could we not put a vote on it tonight and see if this would be approved, if redevelopment's the only word?
I've read the agreement. I haven't had time to talk to any
That's
individuals
what I'm
about
saying.
it.
We've
I've
read
been
the
working on
agreement, but we haven't
budget.
had this discussion.
But what I'm saying, I mean,
We're not gonna rush into something unless we talk about it.
I've read it. I don't mind it.
I
There
think
are
it's a
concerns.
good-
I've been working on the budgets and not necessarily that. But with that being said, I want to see it in writing. I mean, I would motion to table it if it comes to that till next month or to a special meeting or something, but I'm not prepared to redline anything right now.
And what I would suggest, since I have the Word document, if, I don't know, go through one person on the council or whatever,
You
and
can email
just tell me
John.
what you want and I'll put together.
you can, I mean, if you wanna,
Circulate it.
if anybody has changes, how about you just send them out to everybody so we all are aware of the changes, but also include John on it. So that way everyone, and even the commissioners and Joe, whoever.
I mean, if it.
I
mean,
understand.
So that way everyone knows at one time what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, if they're not major changes to the agreement, I don't think the commissioners are gonna mind. I mean, if you're talking very minor, because it's a simple agreement, there isn't a whole lot in there. If you want the 2 days to say 5, we don't
I guess
care.
in like the 2 days, or at least make it say like it is a full-time, so that way like 2 isn't interpreted as a part-time position.
And that's fine. I mean,
I just want, like I said,
Any
isn't,
clarifications?
yeah,
or-
we've had
Sure,
trouble in the
I
past
would-
with,
I would recommend the clarification on that.
so that way we,
Absolutely, I should, because the Rise's expectation is these are 2 full-time positions.
okay.
So come back to the decision-making process or whatever. There's a panel of 5 RISE board members,
Correct.
correct? And the economic development or whatever the title is for this person. He has no vote, just input into the information that he shares with the board members. And how are those board members selected, and is there qualifications for those board members?
Well,
Do they have some type of credentials or?
The Rise board is appointed for 3-year terms or until they're replaced.
And who appoints those?
The county commissioners do,
All 5?
yes.
And that's statutory. That's
Yes.
State law.
The Rise actually has its own state statute written for it. It was for,
Those are some of the questions I don't know.
there were 4 Army BRAC sites around the state of Indiana that this statute was written for. It's 36-7-30, if you want to go dig it. But it's very specific on how the appointments are made, how they serve, what's required, what the RISE is allowed to do. The RISE actually is almost like its own municipality, or kind of, as far as how we're treated by the law. So, but technically, the county owns us.
So how can those people be removed from that office? I know recently we just had some huge changes to.
So there were 2 replacements on the RISE board.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how,
Well,
could that happen again with the current
That
process?
was midterm also,
I just
wasn't
want
it?
to understand that process.
Well,
how
it's,
done.
the state statute literally reads, you're appointed for a 3-year term or until replaced, and you are at the will of the commissioners.
What was the reason for replacement?
You can ask the commissioners that, but
Okay, I'm asking you.
one board member had been there since the very beginning, what's that, 15, 16 years. The other one had been there for 2 years or something, so.
Okay, so what was the commissioner's reason for
Kelly, I don't
replacement?
have my document in front of me, but the commissioners agreed on a statement that was sent out to all previous board members, not just to the RISE, but to the redevelopment commissioners as well. So I'm not going to attempt to relay that memo when I don't have it in front of me tonight. But I'll be more than happy to maybe find that email and forward it to you.
At me personally, I'm sorry.
No, we don't.
As a RISE board member, I serve until I'm replaced. And if that's today, I'm done. And if it's a year from now or whatever, that's fine.
You're telling me you can't remember why you replaced these people?
Kelly, what I'm telling you is the commissioners agreed on a statement that was sent out to these former board members, and I'm not going to try to articulate that statement when it was in an email, okay? So I could, say, oh, we might have said this, but that's not. Would the commissioners agreed on a flat statement, just like we sent out to all board members telling them that the commissioners were looking for new members and their appointments were open. When we sent that out on social media and in emails to
Well,
them.
their 3 years was up.
I don't recall that they were. I don't recall these
Well, were they or
members-
not? I mean,
No one's 100% certain because of the way it was originally done and the way the state statute's written. Because it's written that you serve a 3-year term, and if you quit or are replaced, someone finishes your term and then starts another 3-year term, or they're there until they're replaced. So it's a little ambiguous as to when's the starting and stopping point of those terms. But the gist of it is you serve until you quit, or they decide to put different leadership in place.
It doesn't sound like a term. I mean,
You
if
can
somebody
go read
vote, I know, I get it, but I'm
when I
saying,
read it, I'm like,
if everybody in District 2 decided they didn't want me here tomorrow and called me and said, you're out,
It's like an NFL
It's
contract.
not
It's like
really-
an NFL contract.
it just seemed kind of weird.
It's not an NBA contract, it's an NFL contract.
Yeah.
it sounds a lot like a redevelopment situation.
I would tell you, from the RISE board's perspective, just the general conversations we had about it, there's confusion in the situation a little bit, but I think the consensus became that, if the RISE board isn't getting done what the county wants to get done, if there's not enough activity, then give somebody else an opportunity to see what they can get done.
So
And so
I'm
if
just,
they've decided we're not getting enough done and they replace me, for instance, today, tomorrow, or next year, that's,
Yeah, and I
My time's
I
done.
don't have any question about that. That
Um,
goes without saying. I'm just talking about the term, this sounds strange that you can
and
cut.
maybe I haven't done a good job explaining, but it's a little wonky when you read it from a legal perspective,
Yeah.
because there's kind of 2 ways to describe the terms.
Kind of like, what
So,
exactly
but-
does
but-
that mean?
But the gist of it is, the commissioners appoint it, you're there till you leave, or they appoint somebody else.
so the example that I'm recalling is we appointed 2 people, but one of those people accepted, I assume, and then a couple of months later, they resigned.
Not from the
That
RISE
was
board.
redevelopment.
That was redevelopment. Okay, okay.
I'm not aware.
Yeah.
I-
I'm confused, I apologize.
I guess back to
Yeah.
the agreement
Let's
though.
go back to this.
Yeah,
Can we,
that's kind of,
please?
Sorry.
So my question is, what qualifications will you or do you have for the RISE board?
I guess if I could interject for,
I mean,
Well, I
you're
mean,
not
just-
part of the rise, I guess.
but
Well,
my
I
thing
don't-
is to Brenda, like to her point, I'm not quite sure the qualifications of the board members are discussion tonight with this agreement, you know, I think.
But the discussion is how is it gonna operate? And that's my question, is how is it gonna operate? I don't understand it. I mean,
Well, can we,
we could appoint 5 people, but,
excuse me, Rick, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. And it sounds to me like
We need more
we're gonna wanna
discussion.
table this. I would suggest we table this evening, and some of those questions that you have, maybe we can communicate it in an
I
email, or
agree.
a conversation, or a cup of coffee later, if you have those questions, and then we can revisit this at the contract portion of this at another meeting.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to
I
say.
make a
I'm not
motion to
prepared.
table.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor.
I thought Neil already made that.
Oh,
Okay, did he actually make the
Well, he
motion?
said he
He said,
did.
I
I'm
asked if we
inclined to.
needed to
Oh,
make
I'm
a
sorry.
motion.
I misunderstood.
Okay, so I,
It was an
I don't
option.
care who makes it.
It's always an option, but
would you like to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, now they, okay.
Yeah, we gotta think about
Rick,
this.
Rick,
I have a motion from Mrs. Furry, a second
Oh, no,
from
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Costello to table the $100,000 additional appropriation request from the Economic Development Fund. Any further discussion?
No, it's not.
Okay,
Do we need to schedule a meeting so we can
we can put it on,
talk to?
we'll get,
Can I say a couple more things? I should have covered this already probably. So my understanding is county council controls the funding for economic development, that fund. You still have that control of it, and you still would have the control of the payment to this agreement, this share. So you may not have the direct oversight of hiring that employee.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Just wanna
But
know
you
how it
definitely
works.
have the purse strings,
I
which
guess-
is county council's job.
would we actually need $100,000 though? Because it wouldn't be, it would just be for the rest of this year.
What you really want is enough, however much it would be for the end of this year, and then we're going to have to
Next year.
amend
Yeah,
the budget,
for next
which
year.
we still have time.
We haven't done
Yeah,
the
we
budget
can-
till
yeah, we
October.
can do the- we can
So
do
that's
this
not,
budget.
but
The Rise would appreciate the whole 100 up front, but if you want to split it,
Because
if
when,
you
I
want
guess,
to.
when are you wanting to
Prorated.
start
The
this?
agreement says.
Well,
Before the end of the year or in
it-
January?
I think the commissioners in discussions with the RISE board is that there's enough activity, if they could have a guarantee of funding, that they would put out applications, they would do interviews, and they would try to get this person on as soon as possible, but they're not gonna put out that application or work with John to create
So
one unless
is-
they have a guarantee of funding.
So is the contract going to go year to year, or is it like when we sign it, is it gonna start January 1? Like, do we need to fund the whole 100,000 in 25 and it'll go to 26 and then we do it that way?
I think we're amenable to, I think, the RISE or.
That's why I don't know if we need the
As it's
100,000
I
or
would,
not.
yeah, I
As
would,
it's written, it's at 6-month terms, so
Okay.
you would only fund the first 50,000, and then you would decide.
So realistically, we would put 50,000 on this,
Mhm.
and then in our budget for next year, we would put
100.
I'm gonna say that's what I read.
That's what, yeah.
okay. Okay,
So on the potential next meeting,
Hold on a second. I would probably say that you don't fund it until the day the person gets hired.
okay.
And just
Right.
matching.
The initial.
It's
And-
it's the- we're coming towards the end of
The end of the year,
so these-
fiscal year, I understand.
Yeah,
Well,
it's-
Because if we appropriate it now, come January 1, that's gone. It rolls back into the fund, so it wouldn't have to be redone again either in the budget or as an additional, so.
Gives us some time.
That's you guys' world, you
So-
figure it out.
okay.
I think the RISE would be acceptable.
Be working
amenable.
without a paycheck.
All
So
right,
it says August 1st and February 1st.
okay. So I have a motion from Mr. Furry, second from Mr. Costello, to table the additional appropriation. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed state no. All right, it is tabled.
yeah, I think so. Actually, the only thing that I'd ask on behalf of the commissioners, why the council reviews this document, red lines it, asks the questions to John, the RISE, whoever that may be. I mean, I don't know that we can give you any more answers. I think a lot of it's gonna come from the RISE or John. What is the goal for the council to address this next? Will this be an October meeting, or is it possible that it could be at that special meeting?
It is, but being that it's so quick, I'm not, it just depends on how quick everything can get answered.
I just ask that if you guys do.
So, but we can make sure that if it does go on in September, we can let you guys know, but if not, worst case would be October 20th.
Yeah, I just asked that way we can make sure John's
Yeah.
back in attendance,
Yeah.
the RISE board's in attendance.
I think it'll just matter of how fast we can get so many things cleared up.
Yeah, and I would just ask the council to, I know you're going through budgets right now, but I do think this is with the ambulance, like I discussed, outside, I think this is a top priority right along with several things, is economic development. So,
I 100% agree, and I want to get it just right.
yeah.
Make sure it's
John,
just
are we
right.
reaching out to
We're
you, or are
almost
you gonna
there. I
just
think we
email
just
all
about
of
got
us?
this. We're not
Do we need to
in
reach out
opposition
you
to
and
it.
Yeah.
There's a few
email the
things
board
that tie up
documents
on
to
it.
us,
Oh,
No problem.
I got your information. Maybe if you'd send me all your
Yeah,
contact
or
info.
you can send it to me or Ashley.
I will send an email out to everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
That way everyone's on the link and just say if you want to reply with your questions.
Okay.
So that way everyone's on there with hopefully the correct email addresses.
Thank you.
I would like to add to the contract that the director has to respond to fire alarms or file.
You can see
I
what
don't, or Kelly doesn't.
negotiation in there.
Yeah, I live so
Alright,
close
where
to
are we?
the file, so
All right, that was the last
I got a call
additional.
last week in Paris.
Wednesday.
Oh, you did?
Sorry.
Okay,
They asked me to make a call. You think it's worth, you need to worry about it? I said, I don't
yeah,
know.
thank you, appreciate your time.
See you.
See you later, bro.
All right,
Are we transfers now?
we are at transfers. That was the last addition. That's why I did it last, sorry. I knew it was going to be the longest conversation. All right, transfers this evening. Our first transfer requires a vote. Circuit Court is asking to move $402 from office supplies to attorney fees to pay for family court attorney fees.
I make a motion to move the $402 from office supplies to attorney fees out of the 4921 family court grant.
Thanks, Christina.
I think that is all the money.
It is.
That's in
Yes.
family court, so.
Yeah, they mentioned this at budget. This is
Yeah,
like
okay.
that grant they're trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
I second that.
Sorry.
Yep, thank you.
Let me be quiet.
So it's a cheap attorney,
Quiet.
$402.
Yeah, it's like a grant they had a little bit of money in it. They had to spend it up. Okay. I have a motion from Mrs. Furry, second from Mr. Weir to approve the transfer of funds of $402 into attorney fees and the 4921 fund family court grant. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. Alright. Transfer is approved. The next transfer, oops, that's the other one for next one. Yeah. So this one's in the additional for October. It needs advertised. It was in the wrong spot.
Thank you.
No big deal. We'll get it next month.
Yep, got it.
The next transfer is for the Parks Department. It also requires a vote this evening. They are asking to transfer $1,500 from their other capital outlays into grounds to help cover the trash services and other expenses for the remainder of the year.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
All right, I have a motion from Mrs. Furry, a second from Mr. Costello, to approve the transfer of $1,500 in the Parks Department general fund budget for line items of other capital outlays into the grounds. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. Transfer is approved. Okay. The next transfer is from the prosecutor child support. They are asking to transfer $800 from travel into office supplies. So they were unable to travel, so they needed it into the supplies.
I'll make a motion to do the transfer from prosecutor child support of $800 in travel to $800 in office supplies.
Okay. I have a motion from Mrs. Furry, second from Mr. Vose to approve the $800 transfer of prosecutor child support from travel to office supplies. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. Transfer is approved.
The rest of these are reporting only.
Yes, the next several are reporting only.
We have one that's.
Circuit Court is moving law books to an interpreter for $1,000. The one after that is Commissioners Court. They're moving $500 from training and seminar to utilities and water.
That's actually Mark O'Hare, that'd be
Oh, is that you, May?
yeah, yes, sir.
You signed that one, but it says,
It's fine, it's just typo.
oh, it's just, okay. Anyway. Okay, still general fund.
Yep, still general.
Alright. The next reporting only is Commissioners Court. They're moving, trading. $3,695.10 from professional services to programs for the BIS digital recording system. The next reporting only is the prosecutors. They are moving $1,511.98 from training and conferences to equipment and maintenance agreements to cover the expense for an office laptop. Next reporting only is the Parks Department. They're moving $36 from postage to the grounds to cover trash. Parks has another one. Reporting only, $100 from official records to supplies. The county park supplies. Is this the last one? Nope, just kidding. This one is reporting only. It says no.
I think it's mislabeled.
Yeah, it is. It is reporting only. The Veterans Office is asking, or is transferring $1,500 from training and conferences to travel. To cover mileage. To cover mileage for home visits. And then, no, it's still not the last one. It's like the never-ending file. The next transfer is the Public Defender's Office. They are transferring $6,000 of rent, $500 of legal services, and $2,500 of investigation for a total of $11,500 into non-contractual attorney line item to pay for those attorney
That
fees.
adds up to 9,000.
Oh, there's above that.
At 200.
It's typed in above. There's
Pauper
also
attorney
additional
fees.
2,500 of pauper attorney fees. Sorry, I missed it.
Good catch.
It's above the one. Thanks.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is on there.
That does. Okay. And then the last reporting only this evening for transfers is for the jail, $1,000 from pest control and softener to the jail water to cover the funds for the September water bill. Any questions on any of those?
Yes.
Okay.
Paying the water bill. Look at how it's cheaper to send them.
Our next item on our agenda is the treasurer's monthly report.
I checked it out and it balances.
Perfect.
They did a great job again.
Any other questions or comments? All right, old business, we have none. New business, we kind of covered that with the additional, it was the Economic Development Services Agreement. You can check that one off your list. B is also checked off the list because that was the appropriation for the covered bridge. Or the commissioners are gonna pay for the covered bridge fund. We are flying through the new business. Item C. All right, new business item C is the resolution 2025-09, amending the compensation for employees for the year 2025 for the highway. This is the structure we spoke about at the last meeting. The commissioners did provide us with job descriptions of these 4 positions, 3 highway foremen and 1 highway administrative assistant. Actually, I think it's probably not highway administrator, right?
Mhm.
So that should say highway administrator.
Yes. That assistant.
They were asking increases in their hourly rate to help cover those additional job duties that they were now assuming since the supervisor has left. Anyone have questions on that?
Looks like they did a pretty good job putting job descriptions together.
Yes.
From our conversation earlier today during budget hearings, it sounds like it is going well so far. So this was also, they said they would evaluate it by the end of the year to make sure it was still working.
My conversation with them, at least at the South Garage, if they're still trying to figure out money, you know, like what do they have left, some things like that, but that ought to be pretty easy to figure out, so. That may just been one person too, so.
I would expect some changes as they go along.
I think it was more of an issue of if a supervisor wants to go buy something today, right now, I need a shuttle, I gotta go get it. Can they do that? How do you do that? You know, maybe, I'm sure that'll work out. It's not a big issue.
My biggest concern is the planning process, whether it's far enough out. And it sounds like commissioners are talking about 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan. I heard that today.
I'd take a 1 week plan would be nice to me.
I'm gonna say 1 week, I'm sticking to it.
A solid week, yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a challenge for them. Especially trying to coordinate.
I say a
The
year out on
material.
work's kind of hard to do, but 5 years out on equipment and stuff's not that hard to do, so that's what I would do.
Unless you've done it for a while. Yeah, they'll have to work well together and agree.
I don't. I might be able to. Did they want them equal, right? Didn't he say the 4 were equal?
Yes.
Well, I think there will be after, yeah, do I got it?
Okay.
You know whether equal because of the ERC running on
It's
those
still
are
increased.
figured to go from 2 weeks ago to pay all of this payroll at an hourly rate. That's not giving this kind of money, you know, for the year, just what's left for them.
Right.
How many pays do we have left this year? Does anyone know? I just want to make sure we got the right number before we pass it.
7 or 8 could be right.
Will they get paid in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think there's an extra one in here.
You're pushing.
Well, yeah, because, you know,
We're how the weeks go.
but the way that's dated, that will go on the next payroll.
Those are minutes.
Or wait, what I,
I'm sorry.
back.
It's 28 divided like 53,000. Okay, I think it's right. It's okay. Let me get this right here. Because that is a foreman.
Payroll cutoff counts it as paid because January 2nd
Oh,
is a pay.
next year's that weird year, isn't it?
This is the pay cut schedule.
Thank you.
And we're there, you just got the 12th.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 pays left.
Sorry, Benny.
Okay, I think we're. Alright, so, resolution 2025-09, which is amending the compensation for employees for the year 2025. In this resolution, the highway foreman will be paid at the hourly rate of $24.27 an hour, and the highway administrator will pay at the hourly rate of 21.63.
I make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Weir, second from Mr. Bose, to approve resolution number 2025-09, amending the compensation for the employees for the year 2025. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, state no. Resolution is approved. Okay, and the last item on our new business is our 2026 budget hearing. This would be the public hearing for our 2026 budget that we are currently in the process. We spent the last 3 days reviewing budgets with office holders and department heads. This is the time that we will allow any public comment for any kind of budget issues concerning the county. So if you have a comment, please come up and we're happy to address it. Okay. Well, that concludes the end of the public hearing.
Perfect budget.
Our adoption of our budget will be at the October 20th meeting. And is there any regular public comment this evening? Any public comment? Okay, is there anything, council?
Motion to adjourn.
Well, one quick question.
Oh,
So we're gonna put these budgets together and then we plan to give them back to the office holders? Cause I know that was a question.
The auditor, she'll enter it in and redo all these numbers, and then she sends them out to,
yeah, before
So-
before
before
we
we vote.
adopt it.
So they're
Yes.
gonna see
Okay.
it.
yes.
Do they get a second?
Yeah, you.
Sorry. All right. Any other comments? Now I'll take your motion.
I'll second.